Hello, everybody. It's Bill, that college football guy here in another video. Yeah, I'm here outside of Nashville, Antioch, Tennessee, delivering a load I picked up in Jacksonville, and I gotta go about 30 miles down the road, pick up a road, and I'm going up to Toledo, deliver Wednesday morning, and head back home for Thanksgiving. I tried recording this all in one video, and it was because I'm doing cell phone. It's too long, so it didn't work. So, excuse me, still battling this crud. We're splitting this up. The picks video, who you got, two parts. I'm going to do first off, the first part of this is going to be the scenarios for all the conference championships. Who determines what going in there, how's that's going to go. And all the games Tuesday through Friday. That comes out today here on Tuesday. We'll probably record the video either later today or tomorrow. That'll go up on Friday, which will be for all the Saturday games. And at the end of this, I've got an idea that I want to get you guys more involved in about maybe voting for a playoff, or should it be top 25 or should it be the subscriber school? We'll get into that at the end of the video, but let's get into this. First off, conference championships. We're going to do the Power 4 first and the G6. ACC conference championship. How's that going to go? SMU's already in. Regardless of what happens, SMU's in the conference championship game. Miami controls their own destiny. Miami plays Syracuse. If Miami beats Syracuse, they're in the ACC championship game battling Clemson. Battling SMU. If Miami loses, Clemson goes in because Clemson's played all their conference championship games. They're playing South Carolina this week. So Miami's already completed its conference schedule. If Miami loses, Clemson's completed its conference schedule. If Miami loses, Clemson goes in to face SMU. If Miami wins, they go in and face SMU. So they control their own destiny. That's how the ACC is going to go down. The Big 12, holy crap show. There's a scenario that if the top four, Arizona State, Iowa State, BYU, and Colorado, all four lose, it'll be an 8-way tie for the conference championship. I don't see it happening. The schools involved, who controls their own destiny? Two do. Arizona State and Iowa State. If Arizona State beats Arizona, rivalry game, they're in. If Iowa State wins Farmageddon and beats Kansas State, I hope I got that right, they're in. If one of those loses and BYU loses, Colorado could possibly get in. There's a bunch of tie-breaking situations. I'm not going to go in all of it, but basically the ones who control their own destiny is there. Hopefully Arizona State and Iowa State win out, and that solves the problem. Otherwise, it's going to be a complete cluster in the Big 12. The Big 10, I'm not going to go in all of them because we'll be here for an hour and a half. No. The Big 10, Oregon's in. Regardless of what happens in their game against Washington, Oregon's in. Now, Ohio State, if they beat Michigan, the fact is the three schools involved, who all have a chance to make the Big Ten championship game, all three of their games are at home. If Ohio State beats Michigan, Ohio State is in. If Ohio State loses and Penn State beats Maryland, Penn State is in the championship game. If Ohio State and Penn State both lose and Indiana beats Purdue, Indiana goes to the Big Ten title game to play Oregon. If all three lose, Ohio State goes in. So who controls their own destiny? Ohio State. They have the chance to control their own destiny in this. All right, the SEC, Georgia's in. SEC is the easiest of the Power Four to do. Georgia's in. One of the most hated rivalries. They absolutely hate each other. Texas and Texas A&M. It'll be in College Station. The winner of that game plays Georgia, regardless of who wins. Whoever wins that game plays Georgia in the SEC championship. Theirs is actually straightforward. All right, I'm on the G5. The AAC championship game is determined. Army and Tulane. Who hosts it? Because it goes by whoever's the highest ranking team hosts the championship game. Regardless of what Army and Tulane do, they're the two going. They're that far ahead. And with tie breaks, they're the two going. So it depends on how I don't think it's a college football playoff poll. I think it's the Associated Press poll. But whoever wins that poll is going to determine who goes. So, just to let you know. So, it's basically whoever ends up higher in the poll is going to be hosting the championship game between Tulane and Army. So, it's not only winning, you got to win with some style points. Now, Army is hosting UTSA. Not the same UTSA before. They're barely bowl eligible. Tulane's hosting Memphis. Both schools are 9-2. We'll see about it. We're going to have some great games citing this. Now, next up would be among the G5 is G4, G5, soon to be G6. Conference USA. Jacksonville State is in the conference championship game. Who controls the other three schools in consideration are Liberty, Sam Houston State, and Western Kentucky. Liberty, and the fact is the top four schools play each other. Liberty is at Sam Houston State. Jacksonville State, the team who's already going to the championship game, is at Western Kentucky. If Liberty beats Sam Houston State, they control their own destiny. They're in. If Western Kentucky, if they beat Jacksonville State and Liberty loses, they're in. If Sam Houston State beats Liberty and Western Kentucky loses, they win. If Sam Houston State wins and Western Kentucky wins, Western Kentucky is in. So this is straightforward. Liberty, the clearest path. They control their own destiny. They win, they're in. Everybody else needs help. The MAC. This is actually 4 schools, not 3, 4, involved in the championship. Ohio controls their own destiny. The games involved in the schedule right this week have are Kent State at Buffalo. Buffalo is still involved in the championship, and that game's on Tuesday. Because basically what happens is Ohio beats Ball State, they're in. Bowling Green and Miami of Ohio are playing each other. The winner gets in. However, if Ball State beats Ohio and Bowling Green beats Miami of Ohio, then Buffalo gets in and they play Bowling Green. If they win. So Kent State, who's 0-11, travels to Buffalo to play on Tuesday. If Kent State somehow beats Buffalo, Buffalo's out of the playoff. Out of their chance of the MAC championship, excuse me. They'll be completely out of it. Kent State gets their first win of the year and plays ultimate spoiler. Is it likely to happen? Probably not. But Buffalo's got to take care of business. So who controls their own destiny between Ohio, Bowling Green, Miami of Ohio, and Buffalo? Ohio. Ohio gets in, they're in. Bowling Green, Miami of Ohio, whoever gets in, they're in. If Ohio wins, regardless of what Buffalo does, if Ohio wins, Buffalo's out. And then it's the Bowling Green, Miami, Ohio winner playing each other. The winner goes in. So Bowling Green and Miami of Ohio are both be rooting for the Ohio Bobcats to win because that means they don't have to deal with Buffalo. So that's how that goes down. The Mountain West Conference set up. Boise State's in. Colorado State is going to be playing Utah State. I think it's on Friday. UNLV controls their own destiny. If UNLV beats Nevada in the battle for the Fremont Cannon, UNLV's in. Colorado State has to beat Utah State, and Nevada has to beat UNLV. So if Colorado State loses to Utah State on Friday, it's over. Regardless if UNLV wins or loses, they're facing Boise for the Mountain West Championship. So that's how that's going to go down. So basically, who controls their own destiny? UNLV does. Pac-12, I discussed this in the previous video. Congratulations to Oregon State. You beat Washington State head-to-head. You're the 2024 Pac-12 champs. As for next season, 2 games played. One at Washington State, one at Oregon State. If somebody wins both games, obviously they're going to be the Pac-12 champs for 2025 in this two-team scenario. I think we're going to have to figure out a tiebreaker between now and the offseason. I'm thinking, the only thing I can think of, rather than doing the stupid poll, whoever scores the most points between both games, if it's split, whoever scores the most between both teams. Like if one school scores 64 and one scores 62 in the two games. You split it. The one who scored 64 wins the Pac-12 championship. That's just me spitballing. We got a little time to come up with it. I got Oregon State fans on here who missed subscriber roll call. I have Oregon State fans on here, and I've got Washington State fans on here. Y'all let me know. We got a little bit of time to think about this, but I don't want to have a poll deciding this. I'd rather have something on the field do it. Points scored is the only thing I can think of that would be equal. Basically, you have to win with style. So that's how that goes. Last one for previews, the Sun Belt. Told you, so I'm 10 minutes in. We haven't even got to the picks yet. Sun Belt. Sun Belt's the only conference that has divisions, an East and West division. All right. 2 schools are involved for each division championship. The East involves Marshall and Georgia Southern. The West involves South Alabama and Louisiana. Now we'll go to the East first. Appalachian State travels to Georgia Southern. That's who they got to beat. And Marshall's on the road at James Madison. So neither one of them's got an easy game. If Marshall beats James Madison or Georgia Southern loses to App State, Marshall's in. Georgia Southern, when they get in, is they have to beat Appalachian State, and James Madison has to beat Marshall. So who controls their own destiny on the Eastern Division? Marshall does. Western Division, like I said, it's South Alabama and Louisiana. Louisiana, the 2 games there, Texas State travels to South Alabama. Louisiana's on the road to UL Monroe. Neither one could be an easy game either, so this is going to be competitive down to the last week here. So, that being said, if Louisiana wins, if Louisiana beats UL Monroe, or South Alabama loses to Texas State, either one happens, Louisiana's in. The only way South Alabama gets in is they have to beat Texas State, and UL Monroe has to beat Louisiana. So this is both divisions are control your own destiny. You win, you're in. Your opponent loses, you're in. So odds are it's probably going to be a Marshall, Louisiana Sun Belt championship, but we're going to see. But that's the status for all the conference championships. Now you see, like I said, why I split this into 2 videos. All right, picks. Well, last week I had a great week, 33-7 on my picks, 82.5%. Versus the spread, one of the better weeks I had, 25-15, 62.5%. So heads up for the season, I'm 376-110, 77.4% of my heads up picks. 244 and 242 versus the spread finally climbed over 50%, 50.2% on the season. All right, so let's get into the picks we got for this video. There's not that many, but we're going to get into it. Tuesday game 1, I'm doing picks on. That's Toledo and Akron. Toledo is a 7.5-point road favorite. Akron is just, they're doing their best, but they just don't have the firepower to keep up with Toledo. So I'm going to take Toledo and I'm laying the 7.5. Thursday, the only game, Thanksgiving game, is Memphis at Tulane. I brought this up in the AAC championship scenario. Regardless of what happens, Tulane's favored by 13.5. I think Tulane's beating Memphis, but I don't like that spread. So give me Tulane to win, but I'm taking Memphis in the points. I think this game's going to be pretty close. Friday games, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them to do. Oregon State at Boise. Boise State is a 20-point home favorite. Oregon State has a little extra motivation. They win this game, they're bowl eligible. Now, do they have the firepower based on how they've been playing to beat Boise? Probably not. But that 20 points is just too damn much because Oregon State's got something to play for, and they're going to play their hearts out today. So give me Boise to win, but I'm taking Oregon State in the points. I don't see that 20 points is too much for my blood. Oklahoma State at Colorado. The Fighting Primes. Colorado's a 16.5-point home favorite. Oklahoma State has not been that good. Colorado has been, for the last 3 weeks, disappointing me on the point spreads. You've come up short every damn week. Now you're playing Oklahoma State, one of the worst team in the Big 12. You got 16.5. You don't cover this, there is a serious problem with your team. So I'm going to lay Colorado and I'm taking Colorado and lay the 16.5. But the way they've been playing lately makes me wonder if they're going to cover the spread. The battle for Paul Bunyan's axe. Minnesota at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a 1.5-point home favorite. Minnesota's already bowl eligible. Wisconsin, with this win, will be bowl eligible. So it's a rivalry game. You're at home, and you win, you go to a bowl game. I think that's going to be the difference here. So give me Wisconsin, and I'll lay the 1.5. I think Wisconsin's going to be bowl eligible and get the X. Miami of Ohio at Bowling Green. We mentioned this earlier in the what's going on with the conference championship scenario. Bowling Green's a 2-point home favorite. This is going to be a dogfight. But Bowling Green, I just have a little more faith in than I do Miami of Ohio. So give me Bowling Green. I'm laying the 2 points. Speaking of the MAC, the other school involved, Ball State at Ohio. Ohio's a 14.5-point home favorite. Ball State just recently fired their head coach. They're still in flux that way. I just don't think Ohio knows they win, they're in. And they're going to want to send a message. So give me the Bobcats, and I'm laying the 14.5. Navy at East Carolina. Navy on the road. Navy's actually a 1.5-point favorite. This point spread has gone all over the damn place. At one point, East Carolina was a 1-point favorite. Navy's 1.5. Some lines have them as a pick'em. This is a close game. Navy has just got shelled by Notre Dame, and they have been the same since. East Carolina wants to end the season on a hot note. They're at home, senior night. Give me East Carolina, and I get East Carolina and 1.5. I'm taking it. I'm taking East Carolina to win heads up. All right. The Egg Bowl. The battle for the Golden Egg. Mississippi State at Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a 25.5-point favorite. Mississippi State is the worst team in the SEC. He only got 2 wins on the year. Ole Miss looks absolutely pathetic after that loss last week. Basically kissed their hopes of the college football playoff goodbye. They're going to come in pissed off. But this is Lane Kiffin. And when he coaches pissed off, he screws up. Ole Miss is going to win. But that 25.5 is too damn rich. With a rivalry game at Mississippi State, possibly. Oh, if Mississippi State beat Ole Miss, they'd be crowing about that all offseason. So I'm picking Ole Miss to win, but give me Mississippi and the points for the spread because it's just too damn much. The battle for the Governor's Cup, otherwise known as the rivalry known as clean, old-fashioned hate. Because they don't like each other. Georgia Tech at Georgia. Georgia's a 19.5-point favorite. Georgia is going to be resting some starters, possibly in this game. Georgia Tech is trying to improve on their season, but Georgia's got too many horses. Even with that, the depth is just too much. So give me Georgia, and I'm laying the 19.5. And lastly, the battle for the Heroes Trophy. Nebraska at Iowa. Iowa's a 5.5-point, at the time of this recording, 5.5-point home favorite. Nebraska came off a big win. They just beat Wisconsin, I believe. Now they're on the road at Iowa at home. Iowa wants to have a nice, strong send-off to go on there. It's their senior night. They're at home. I'm taking Iowa, and I'm laying the 5.5. I think they're going to cover that spread. So I've done enough talking, haven't I? So, like I said, you see where we're at right now. We're in the 18-minute, almost 19-minute mark. And we only did the Friday games. How long am I going to cram all those Saturday rivalries in, since this is rivalry week? Wasn't going to happen, was it? So, split the video up. That's why we did this. Now, to get to the point at the end of this, when I started the teaser at the top of this, as they're unloading me now as you're the truck shaking. I wanted to get you guys more involved. And I thought about the fact of a college football playoff where my subscribers decide, but it's like, do you want to use my poll, or do you want to use my top 25 poll that I do after the conference championship games and have a 12-team playoff with the top 4 and just mimic that? Or normally the subscriber rankings is not going to be done until after the after the national championship. I can do an informal one and after conference championships. I come up with the top 16. No conference champs. 1 through 16, you're seeded no matter where the hell you're at. 1 plays 16, 8 plays 9. You know how the tournament format goes. And you guys, regardless of which one of those scenarios you pick, would vote. Either we do comment section on YouTube or Twitter or X or both. I don't know how. But I wanted to run this guys by you to see if you're interested in doing this. Where you, I mean, it's not going to affect the actual subscriber championship, but it'd be the viewer. Maybe we call it the viewer championship, the viewers championship, the channel champion, whatever. We'll figure out something. But you guys would decide who wins in the games. I'd set up the matchups, and then you guys do the votes, and we'll see what goes. It's an idea I have to get you guys more involved, to get everybody more involved in the channel, to see what you think about this. So we had a lot to talk about here. We've done a lot. So let me know what you put this stuff down, and you can tell me what you think about this down in the comments. So thanks everybody for watching the video. If you haven't done already, I've already done the run through. I've done it enough times. Smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. It helps. Lets YouTube know, hey, comment on the video. Let me know what you think about the kind of scenarios, the picks. The main one for this one is, do you want to do that picks where it's either, do you want to do one where you guys vote on a championship, on who plays? Should it be an AP list or should it be the subscriber schools? The AP list is going to have the info and you guys decide. Subscriber schools, and that's going to be 1 through 12 with the same format that they're doing for the playoff, except to be my rankings. Or the subscriber schools 1 through 16, however the hell they're ranked. Whatever happens, happens. You let me know, decide what you want to do between those two options. If you want to do either one of them, let me know about that in the comments. Share them if you want to. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it if you would. You want to follow me on X, the link will be in the description. So again, thanks everybody. They're getting bouncing around unloading me here, and I already got my next load. They just sent it to me while we were talking, so I gotta look at that real quick and find out where I'm going from here. I know I'm going up north. They already called and told me where I'm going. Just haven't said where exactly. I gotta look at that. So thanks everybody for watching. Everybody's having a great day, a great Tuesday. College football starts the last week of the regular season. Where did this season go? Damn. A bowl season, by the time New Year's rolls around, we got 8 months to wait for football again. Gonna enjoy it while it lasts, don't we? Savor every minute, savor every play. So thanks everybody for watching. Be safe out there, and please, be good to each other.